Hello and good morning to you, everybody. This is Cliff Graves from Train Well Boxing. Before I start, this is not some bod me getting on his soapbox, and anything else. Stabbing incidences are very, very near and dear to my heart. I got stabbed there and lost a lot of blood, but didn't bleed out and was very close to there. I don't know if you can actually see the scar there, but it was close to there. Now there is the network of nerves, and that's how close I was. I don't want to talk about that, but what I'm saying to you is stabbings here in the UK have gone up on the increase, and it's no good trying to bury our heads in the sand and say they haven't, because very, very sadly they have. Before I start, I just want to commend on this particular incident, and they are heroes, very, very humble. But the train driver, the guy that had gone to watch Nottingham Forest was on his way back. The woman that picked up the metal tray, how frightening must that have been to literally see the whites of the attacker's eyes. It must have been absolutely horrendous. And all the other people that are traumatized, but my heart goes out to all of them. You see, it's all very well to say, oh, I would have done this. Oh, I would have done that. Oh, I would have stepped in and did this. Oh, I would have stepped in and done that. When you just don't know, because it's a flip of a coin, isn't it? It's the fight or the flight, isn't it? And it can go either way. I would be very, very honest with you. I have trained knife defense, not many, many years, but I have trained knife, sharp-edged weapons. And the message in self-defense situation is always clear. Do not be there. The art of not be there. Be a 10th Dan in the art of not be there. Which, of course, on a train, you are there, aren't you? In an enclosed space. It must have been horrendous. Horrendous. Only on Saturday. I haven't used the train now for over 20 years. And I used to use it regularly, commuting into London, all on the underground, up to the East End of London. But I'm lost for words. You're in that situation which you cannot avoid, can you? Because you're in there. So you can't even apply situational awareness to have an escape route, because on a train, you're going to eventually run out of space, aren't you? It's crazy. It's not the police's fault. They acted brilliantly, I thought, coupled with the intelligence and almost coolness of head of thought of the train driver, stopping at Huntingdon right by, thank you Lord, right by Huntingdon police station. 8 minutes. So well done to the police. Absolutely brilliant job. Absolutely fantastic job. You can't apply not be there because you're already sitting on a seat, aren't you? On your way back to London or wherever, from Doncaster or Cambridge or wherever, but you're on your route home, aren't you? Or you could be going somewhere, admittedly, from Doncaster, couldn't you? But you're on a train journey and there's only limited space. So how do you apply situational awareness? Situational awareness is something that you preempt what's going to happen, and then you make your escape route out of it. The options are beginning now to deplete. What's the next? Run away. Run away if you can. Don't stand there when somebody's waving a machete around or a zombie knife. They might be very powerfully built. Don't do that. If you've got the opportunity to run away, run away. Yes, I know all about the statistics of turning your back to run away. You've got high heels on, for example, whatever. You've turned your back and now the attacker catches you. Yes, I know that. I'm talking about if you can. Have it on your toes out of it. But you're not going to run away from your 82-year-old mother, are you? And leave her to take all the brunt of the attack, are you? Where you can, run away. On a train. It must have been horrendous. It must have been unthinkable. And I just pray for every single one of those victims, and also the ones that weren't physically injured. The trauma, the stress and the distress of this would be profound. So I just don't know. What the answer is. Is it to increase police presence? Well, yes, I think it is. But then you've got to think about it a little bit more. And I'm going to give you a real life example now. So I used to live in a Surrey village known as Claygate, Claygate, Claygate. And I used to travel from Claygate to Waterloo, get off at Waterloo, and then go on the underground. If I was going over to Stratford, it would be, what was it, out the Northern Line, get off at Piccadilly, was it? And then pick up the Central Line straight the way through. And when I finished my class, I had to get going a bit because of the last train out of Waterloo. So increasing police presence, but where? For example, on the Guildford via Cobham train, which was a train that I used to catch, which used to pass through Claygate. Where are the police going to be? Are they going to get on at Guildford and remain all the way through to Waterloo? Are they going to get on at Surbiton? Are they going to get on at Wimbledon? Are they going to get on at Clapham Junction? Coming back, Waterloo through to Clapham Junction. It doesn't stop at Vauxhall. It goes from Waterloo straight the way through to Clapham Junction. What about the stations like Hinchley Wood, Pedderley, 2-platform station? Are you going to put barriers there? Where are you going to board the train if you're one of these types of individuals that wants to attack innocent members of the public? Are you going to get on at Surbiton, where it's a bit more busier? Are you going to get on at Wimbledon, where it's a bit more busier? Are you going to get on at Clapham Junction, where it's a bit more busier? How about if you got on at Hinchley Wood railway station at 9:30 on a Saturday evening when no buggers about? No buggers about. You've got your hoodie up, your black hoodie up. How is CCTV going to have any recognition of who you are? Work me, mate. Prove it. Yeah? Says the solicitor that comes in when you're arrested in custody. How can you tell that is that person? How can you tell? You can't. Are they going to be police all the way through the 9:30 or whatever time it gets into Hinchley Wood, for example? 9:30 on a Saturday, the 8:30 on a Saturday. What about the last train on a Saturday? What about at 6:30? That's just one train route. One train route. The logistics of it, it's an physical impossibility. What good is having police at King's Cross Station? You just walk through, don't you? If I've been kickboxing training and I've got my holder over my back, I'm not like this, by the way, but I could walk through and I could have anything in my bag, my sports holder, as I walk through, right past even armed police. So is it metal detectors? Barriers. Do you think? To make that work, you've got to have it at every single station on this island. Hinchley Woods, Claygates, Oxshots, Sunbury-on-Thames, the Sheppertons, all those darkly lit stations that are unmanned. Where are you going to put your police? Where are you going to deploy your police? What is the answer to this? Is it for more have a go heroes? Is it that if 3 strong-armed men wrestled this guy, they might have got injured a bit, and then everyone bundled on him is it more have a go heroes? Would you? Could you look me right in the eye and say, "I'd do it"? Do you think? Be honest. You might step up to the plate, yes. But then again, you might not. You might bot it. So police presence and having barriers all over, everywhere. Because what they're going to think, oh, we might as well board at Hinchley Wood. There's no barriers there. Get on at Hinchley Wood. And now they're on the Guildford via Cobham to Waterloo. Guildford to Waterloo. Train. Don't you understand? It is not something that would work. Not something that would work. So what could work? Well, I remember back in the 80s, they used to have on the underground, specifically the underground, and they were very welcome to see, was guardian angels. And they were very, very, very welcome. And these people, to become one of those, are so highly trained. I won't give the gentleman's name, but this gentleman was, I think he was in the parachute regiment. Then I think he served out in the Middle East on many SAS assignments. He had studied martial arts from the eye, specifically knife. And he became a guardian angel. He was big, he was strong. He'd done pub door work, nightclub door work. And yes, he did intercept many instances on the underground. He didn't go on as a lone wolf. 3 or 4 of them would come in. You imagine 3 of the most toughest doormen you can think. They get on at Bethnal Green, for example, on the central line, heading through to Waterloo. If you was one of these attackers, you'd suddenly realise to yourself, the passengers here on that particular train are now not classified as ultra vulnerable. Without that, they are classified as ultra vulnerable unless they pick on somebody that knows how to disarm with knife. Then tables can turn in situations like that, where the attacker suddenly, the predator suddenly becomes the hunted. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that the answer? Is that the answer? To reintroduce private security companies that are trained specifically for these types of incidents, where you have a nationwide network whereby they will get on, because covering the some Shepperton to Waterloo train now, another train I used to use, they're getting on at Upper Halliford, for example, piddly little station where it stops, because their offices are in Kingston upon Thames. So they're covering that region. Regional guardian angels, for example. I'm not saying you'd call it guardian angels, but I am saying properly trained up, whereby they are going to get the cooperation from the authorities. Just like the police. If they're making an arrest, and due to making the arrest or prevention of crime, a knife person going ballistic on a train, the knife man, the knife person, I should say, is severely injured during the disarmament process of the sharp-edged weapon, then there needs to be that type of protection for those security staff who should be highly vetted by security staff, whoever you like, the police, MI5, whoever you like, properly, deeply, every single security member properly vetted, properly assessed of their abilities or their non-abilities. The Guardian Angels was a voluntary organisation, and it just suddenly disbanded. Are you telling me if three Guardian Angels, all over 6'5", got on and looked like they could really handle themselves, doorman type, and you're thinking about doing something Burko on a train, for instance, you might think again. So there's the prevention, the presence. And it's been proven because certainly back in the 80s, the Guardian Angels' presence was very welcome. Very, very, very welcome. I'll give you another for instance. So I'm traveling back from Stratford, right, to Waterloo on the Central Line. And this homeless person, drunkard, wielding a glass bottle, big glass bottle of, I think it was Merrydown cider, I can't remember. But he was going along abusing everyone. You want to fight? You want to fight? I'm standing there on this train, standing up, and I turned to the window, so my back was to him, and I could see him. He came right up into my space, as it were. Yeah. Obscenities like you wouldn't believe. Right? I thought if he steps any closer, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do something. Couple of stops down past Bethnal Green. I can't remember where it goes. It goes Bethnal Green. A couple of stops down. 2 guardian angels got on. Do you know what this little did? He went to one end of the carriage, plonked himself down, and was like a little mouse. He didn't do nothing. He went away and sat down away from all the other passengers. And there was a couple of women that said, oh, you know him. I said, don't worry, we'll keep an eye on him. Don't worry, nothing's going to happen. Where you getting off, love? Don't you worry. It worked. And it worked well. But they've got to have the cooperation from the authorities. That doesn't mean because they're getting properly vetted by security to make sure that they're getting a level-headed security people, not some psychopath that wants a free ticket to beat somebody up and say, I was only doing my job. We are talking about the proper people. And I would suspect there are quite a few people out there that would step up to the plate and say, yes, if I'm properly trained, yes. So is that the answer? To recruit a network of volunteers like the Guardian Angel movement to act as a presence. This is Cliff Graves from Train Boxing. You have a good day. Ciao.